I think it's an interesting feature, but yeah, again, sometimes you're just so used to going into the menu, navving that way, and just having that down that it can be a little weird to switch your mode of play.
Yeah. And okay, we're getting started here. And 20 rupees there at Link's house and 3 bombs in Sank. So getting 3 bombs out of Sank is not too bad. You can just go straight to Kakariko and do most of your checks there. That was a really quick map check. I missed. Okay, we got looks like a pendant at Eastern. I think that was a red crystal at Desert and a regular crystal at Hera. I could be wrong on some of those, though.
They go by so fast for me, I can't always keep up with it. The bombs are helpful, though, although there's a few of the early checks that, because we have boots, we don't have to worry about using the bombs, like the back of Sasha's hut as well, for example.
Yeah, and okay, we're getting runners going in all different directions here. Nothing at Bonk Rocks. We're going to take a look at Sasha's Closet here. Lots of money, 300 heart container and a heart piece. So lots of money there at Sasha's Hut. That's great for the early game. GFE doing the tree pull there, just getting a few blue rupees.
Yeah, we're just shy right now of the halfway on how much we need for all the various things we can buy and what we're going to need to do for this seed here. And extra bombs there at the castle, so whichever way you decide to go, you've got the bombs you need for the opening of the game.
Yeah, and if that's not enough, the bush crab there was also spitting out bombs for you.
An explosive seed, if you will.
Yeah. GFE giving us a look at Lumberjack. I think that was just a big 20 there, so no worries on that front. We're getting a look now at the Lost Woods.
Yeah, the Bonk Rocks.
Looks like all the players.
Ooh, wow. Early flute. That's nice for the village routing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, flute and boots pretty much right out of the gate. Doesn't always mean a fast seed, but it at least means we're not going to be seeing a lot of overworld traversal. Players are going to be able to just go pretty much right to where they want to be very quickly.
It does mean there's a number of extra checks we're going to need to do. It's that thing of, it's great to have everything open right now, such as it is, but it also means that there's more checks that are open that could be hiding things like mitts or the moon pearl or anything else that's going to help us get into the other side of the game.
Yeah, well, the flute alone doesn't unlock much. Just one item in Spectacle Rock, and then you can also sequence break an item without the lamp off the old man. But the flute in combination with mitts or hookshot or mirror and hammer can open up quite a bunch of stuff. And there's a glove and hammer in blindside. Wow.
Here we go then.
Yeah, that's 2/3 of our Dark World access already. And that makes Aga almost dead. There is still the possibility that that Moon Pearl is on the Pyramid Ledge. But that's very unlikely.
Standard routing will now go check out this well here over on the west side of the town.
Yeah, also worth noting, we did find a bottle in the back of Blind's hut with a blue potion, so a nice safety, and also lets us just get rid of that sick kid check right off the bat.
Most of town's going to be covered right away, which is nice to see when you're getting into the game this early. Don't want to have to come back and double check more than you need to.
Looks like nothing really too exciting in the well there. But we do have bottle vendor money. And just a heart piece off of that. We're going to see some flute activations here.
Get the Song of the Duck going.
Yep.
As we see chat honking away in the background.
Alright, GFE done with that, heading down to do the rest of Kakariko, so we're going to get a look at the chicken hut here. And that's just a heart piece.
Just a little bit more love right there. Does look like it filled out another heart container right there, I think, so not bad, but...
Yeah, we got, well, Fear Age and Ngamichu already on 7 hearts each, so this has been a pretty healthy seed so far. Sick Kid, just some pocket change there.
Just stole his newspaper route money.
Yeah. And just a heart piece in the tavern. So we do have a couple more checks south of Kakariko in the library and race game, but after that, there's quite a few options for the runners.
Of course, nice thing about having the boots right now already is that if there's anything good here, we can immediately grab it. But it's just a quarter and we move on. Well, 20 cents.
Yeah, so kind of expecting these runners probably to go to... Oh, GFE's saving and quitting. Oh yeah, he's going to probably do back of escape here.
Did you see what the item was? It was a little overlapped with the text box for me.
I didn't quite catch it, but GFE wasn't interested, so it can't be too important.
Bombs from chat.
Yeah, bombs, okay.
Okay. Go and do it back of escape now as you're commenting. Don't even have to use bombs for this. Just bash the wall.
Yeah, Fear Agent not doing that quite yet. And there's the Moon Pearl right there in the dam. So less than 6 minutes in, we got Dark World access already. This looks like it might be a pretty exciting seed.
And the back of escape just had some couch cash and another piece of love.
Yeah, we did get the key in there, I think, which meant that Dark Cross would have been possible, but with no sword, no lamp, not much of anything really. That's kind of a tall order. Finding that key rat in the dark, not something you really want to do.
Tad difficult, yeah.
All right, GFE grabs that Moon Pearl Fear. Gonna farm a few bombs here.
I mean, when they're free like that, why not?
And Gamachu actually heading up and rescuing the old man. So this is out of logic with no lamp. But if you're familiar with the dark rooms, that one's not too difficult. And we get a Canis Samaria.
Yeah, that's one of the easier dark rooms, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, also worth noting, we did have Powder, is the sunken item in the dam. And here's our look at Mini Molarm Cave. We got a bit of money.
Oh.
And a Titan's Mitt. Okay, wow.
I was gonna rate that Mini Moldorm pretty low, but that just boosted that up immensely.
Yeah, for sure. So those Titan's Mitts are actually going to open up even the Mire area. I wouldn't surprise me to see some runners just go check out Mire real quick here. Fear Agent, though, is going to start off, looks like, with Hype Cave. So we should be getting our Dark World map check here in a sec.
And one of the only exploration items for the overworld we're missing at this point is the flips. As soon as we get the ability to go in the water, we're going to be solid for just about everything.
Yeah, so we had a green pendant on Turtle Rock, a regular pendant at Ice, and I think that was a 5/6 crystal at Misery Mire. So we are going to need a medallion for Mire. We're not going to need the Ice Rod this seed. But we are going to need most of the other standard required items. There's a mushroom in Hype Cave, and a lot of money. So no money worries are going to happen at all this seed. And GFE 12, checking out Ice Rod Cave, nothing much there. And he's going to flute away, not going to bother with any fake flippering right now.
It is worth pointing out that what the players have to do at this point is they are going to need to kill Ganon, and they do need to get all 7 crystals to be able to get into the Tower of Ganon. So they are required to get that medallion to be able to get into Misery Mire. There's no skipping that. Yeah.
All right, Gamachu heading into the Dark World, but not going to start with Hype Cave. He's going to start over. Yeah, he's going to go straight down and do, looks like, the Village of Outcast area and probably go into Thieves Town. Thieves Town is a full clearable crystal. Not the easiest boss fight without a sword, but it is doable. And there's a red potion there to help him out.
Danny Royals over at the Ice Cave area, what would be a light side shopping mall if you're playing Entrance Tracker or Entrance Rando.
Yeah.
Not much there, though. Just some pointy sticks.
Yeah, Jiffy actually taking my suggestion and heading straight to the Mire area. So looks like not, just a heart container off the dig game, and looks like Misery Mire's going to be Ether.
You'll be able to check these. Oh, I'm sorry. Gonna be able to check these 2 items here. Although some of the checks that you could do otherwise are blocked without that mirror.
Yeah.
A shield and some rupees. So you got yourself a nice tiny sled you can use.
Yeah. So Gamachu is going straight into Thieves Town here. Haven't seen too much so far, but still just in the front.
Does have the hammer. Could in theory do most of this dungeon, including boss blind, if you really wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the dungeon is full clearable, but it is. He's got a couple of bottles though. I think he has a blue potion and a red potion, so it should be. He should be able to handle blind. GFE now checking the magic bat. We haven't seen this yet.
Did we see if they got a save or something in after getting that mushroom? Just well,
they have the powder.
They have the powder. Never mind. Yeah.
Doesn't matter too much.
Nope.
And there's a sword on the bat, so that's pretty nice.
Bat was packing heat.
Yeah, I think Gamachu's gonna wish he. Well, and Furious probably gonna wish they checked that before heading into Thieves Town. But wow, Fear Agent up to 11 hearts already. This seed is ridiculous in terms of health.
Already healthy, and the second he finds any kind of armor, it's going to be even more ridiculous.
Yeah, so I don't think these runners are going to have any problem with blind on this kind of equipment level.
Not with the skill level they already have.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about blind, of course, is that whatever weapon you're using, however you decide to kill them, it's always the same amount of damage.
Yeah, always 9 hits.
Does make that boss at least easily controllable. If you know how to handle their pattern, you can the standard movement they do around the boss room, you can take them on basically any way you want. Yeah,
and actually Gamachu with that Cane of Samaria, you can use Cane of Samaria against blind.
That's one of my favorite kills to watch, honestly, because you set the bricks and let blind basically kill themselves.
Yeah, it can be a deceptively tricky fight, but it's, I'd say, probably easier than the hammer fight.
The limited range of the hammer is something that takes getting used to, and even when you do know how to use it, it's still tricky in the best of times.
Yeah, for sure. Gamachu fake powdering there to get a little bit of health from that anti-fairy.
More toothpicks sitting back there with the fake girl.
All our runners now in Thieves Town. Gamachu almost done though. Looks like the last item will be on blind.
Going to Thieves Town is a solid move early on, especially when you have the number of explorational items that they have. Though blind, of course, as we noted, is just easy to control if you know how to handle the fight. And with all the items they have, they don't have to orphan anything at this point. It's a solid dungeon to do, especially when you're in and around the area.
Yeah, Thieves Town is it's one of those dungeons that doesn't change much between go mode and non-go mode. So there's usually no reason to put it off. You kind of want to just come straight here whenever you can do it.
Even when you're playing the vanilla game, it's one of those dungeons that the second you can get into it, you just kind of do it because there's enough places to check in here. The benefit of having those gloves, no matter what, in the vanilla game, it's a solid dungeon that doesn't take a lot of effort in comparison to some of the other dungeons in the Dark World.
Yeah. Yeah, the main advantage of the vanilla game is getting getting those mitts so you can get the tempered sword early. But here it's mainly just about getting that crystal and getting some item checks out of the way.
With the potential for a key item or two that you're looking for lurking down in here.
So anyway, while we were talking about that, Gamma just had a solid hammer blind fight there. And he is going to be our first runner with a crystal. And Fear not far behind.
Solid blind fun. 3 quick hits right there at the start. Fear easily dodging around with his mini Link sprite.
Yeah.
Not that it affects anything, obviously, it's just aesthetic.
Yeah, the question in chat about the script. So blind is a scripted enemy. If you, it's a lot easier with the sword, or at least you practice it more with the sword. It's definitely possible to do a script with the hammer, but you have to kind of practice it on its own. It's different from the sword script.
You end up doing a kind of figure-8 dodge around the heads as they're coming to you if you're on time with the script. But even still, if you know what you're doing, you'll know about where blind heads, when they scurry their way down to the other side of the screen, should be able to control it.
So runners all going to check hammer pegs. We'll see if they decide to pick up the smith. Normally, mirrorless smith is something you want to put off, but here we got boots and flute, so that makes it actually a relatively quick check. So I can see these runners grabbing the smith, taking him on a little tour.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, since I've played a lot of vanilla and I've watched the rando, but they Fear Agent decided to just slowly bash those down. Wasn't there the ability to hammer dash them down?
There is, but one quirk of that glitch is that it only works if you have a sword.
There we go.
Yeah, if you don't have a sword, that glitch just doesn't work.
Okay.
So Fear is going to pick up the smith. Looks like Amachu will as well. GFE also finish off with Thieves Town. He had the benefit of that sword from Magic Bat to make that fight a little easier. Getting a look now at King's Tomb. I don't think we've seen this yet.
Pennyroyal had to use their blue potion for their blind fight just because they were running low on health after traversing that dungeon. So a little bit of safety lost there.
King's Tomb just having that single arrow. And Fear heading to back of Escape. Taking out a bomb and then remembering you can just bonk open that wall. So Gamma heading into Hype Cave as well. I wonder if Gamma might continue on, run up and check Pyramid Ledge and Catfish. None of the other runners have been up there, I don't believe.
You're in the vicinity, you could do it. The problem with, Pyramid's not so far out of the way necessarily, but that big catfish, you really have to just decide whether or not you want to go up there and spend the time to do it. They have the money, but they don't have the mirror, because you could mirror across and go do the Zora checks afterwards.
Yeah, without that mirror makes Catfish just a much more isolated check. Nothing on the blacksmith, just some arrows. Gamachu checking Pyramid Ledge now. And Fury Agent hopping into Magic Bat will be rewarded with a sword here. Nothing on Pyramid Ledge.
Fear Agent getting the Curse of a Sword. And it does look as though Gamma is going to wander up and do the catfish play.
Yep. No other reason to come to this part of the world.
And if the mirror happens to be on catfish, you just, won the seed there in that regard.
Yeah, mirror on catfish is definitely a rude placement, but it can happen.
Looks like 20 rupees sitting up there at Desert Ledge.
And Fear running up to Agina. I don't think anyone's checked this yet.
Not that I recall. I was actually just trying to remember the person's name.
Yeah. Alright, Catfish and Agina at the same time.
Oh!
Nothing, and another sword on Agina.
Agina was the better play there.
Yeah, but so we got the flute. So I imagine most of the runners not going to be putting that off for super long. But maybe wanting to combine it with desert if they get the book or mirror. We'll see though. So the main areas that we haven't really seen much of yet is going to be Eastern and Pod. No one's. Oh, we've seen again. Sahasrah's closet, but no one's dipped into Eastern. No one's touched Pod. We got a few other one-off checks, like the purple chest is available, but that's kind of an isolated one-off check. No one's dipped into Skull Woods, and no one's been to the Zora area.
If I had to guess, a certain amount of that is because for most of those, like Skullwoods is an interesting case because it's a split dungeon essentially. But for a lot of these ones, when you don't have all the key items you want to do to get in there, and with how many exploration items we had that basically opened up the world, doing external checks before you go into a dungeon that you might not be able to complete just seems like a no-nonsense way to handle it.
Yeah, I mean, Skullwoods is an interesting dungeon. Like you said, just because the front of it is so easily accessible. So sometimes you just want to clear out the front of it as if it were overworld.
Mind of me raising an interesting point. 2 bottles and all the health that they have could put Spike Cave on the table.
Yeah, that's another option. But it's not in logic without either the Cane of Burna or the Cape. Looks like Penny Royal Oil heading into Front of Escape, another area that we haven't seen yet.
Couple chests down here to check, see if we find anything of value. Got a question in chat asking where the Moon Pearl was. That was over at dam location. Inside the dam, not in the water.
And Fury Agent got a water walk going here.
Nice.
So he'll be doing some a few out of logic checks, but Zora itself is in logic. Oh, there's a fire rod in the Boomerang chest of escape. So that's a big find for Penny Royal Oil. That's going to make Skull Woods in logic. Ice Palace is an option, but it's a pendant and it's out of logic without the flippers, so I don't think anyone's going in there anytime soon.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we saw the red returning stick sitting out on the little island there at Lake Hylia, so I really doubt they're ever going to bother going and getting that.
Yeah. And there's an Ether Medallion in Zelda Cell, so that's required, and an Ice Rod on Zora.
Yeah. Well, that now puts... We need the Cane of Samaria, but the rest, the one that you're worried about when you have to go deal with Fertile Rock, that one's already taken care of because we have that Ice Rod now.
Yeah, we do have the Cane of Samaria from the old man. I believe Gamachu got that earlier, although it is not in logic without that lamp.
Yeah, I just didn't see it ticked off on anyone's screen, so...
Alright, so looks like Fury Agent heading in to do the castle area now, so he'll get those important items, but we do have access to Misery Mire, and it's fully clearable. The boss is not in logic without the lamp, but I think all these runners can do those dark rooms.
Practiced enough at this point. The front room of that area, that used to be such a problem, everyone seems to have a setup for now.
Yeah. Of course, again, only Gamachu has that red cane. No one else has done the old man yet, and GFE looks to be heading into Eastern Palace here. So these are some new checks as well.
I also get to see what the bottle guy has here, the hobo. I don't think we've seen anyone check this one before, and it's the red or the blue returning stick, so that's useful.
Alright, so Penny Royal Oil. Okay, he's going to go turn in the mushroom. Skull Woods would be the next logical play, I think, for the runners who have gotten that fire rod.
Yeah, because that fire rod puts the entirety of that dungeon on the table. Meanwhile, there's the blue version of the Samara, whose name I have now just blanking on, but that does put Spike Cave officially on the table.
Yeah, Burna.
Thank you. Names, not always my friend.
So not really what you're looking for when you dive Eastern Palace with no bow, but you never know. Spike Cave could be something.
Well, never mind.
Oh, whoa!
Okay then.
There's a bow in Eastern Palace.
Commentator's blessing right there.
Yeah, this could be huge for GFE. It depends on where the location of that other bow is. If that other bow is tucked somewhere awful, like in Gan's Tower or Ice Palace or something, this would be huge for GFE because all the other runners are not going to want to go into Eastern without a bow. They do seem to be avoiding it. Or maybe even at all, with it being a pendant. But yeah, that is going to put... that's going to make Pod full clearable for GFE, so he might be heading there next.
Missed what was inside Spectacle Rock.
Oh, I didn't see it either.
But with that bow, that dungeon definitely is clearable. As you pointed out, no one's going to want to try and clear it. The dark rooms may be easy to navigate, but like if you can't kill the Armos Knights, you're not going to want to come in here until you have to.
Yeah, Gamachu making a dip into Spike Cave here, not in logic. But he has got some potions, so it is possible to do
Well, it is in logic because we have the Cane of Burna on the table. It's just not necessarily in logic for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GFE now heading... He's going to finish off Eastern, so I'm guessing there's an item on Armos.
Chat confirming that they think the inside of Spectacle Cave was just some more pointy sticks, arrows, so we don't have to worry about that.
And Pennyroyal Oil heading to the back of Skullwoods, taking a little bit of time here to grab some extra magic and hearts. Don't blame him on Fighter Sword. This is not an easy fight at all.
Not fun.
He does have some safeties, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what I would want to try and take on Mothula with. Different enemy there. If I'd be more comfortable with the Fighter Sword or the hammer with that, because the range on that hammer sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, once you've... Like, Moth is a very RNG heavy boss. Sometimes you get good patterns from Moth, and, you know...
Like that.
Like that, and great fight from Pennyroyal there.
GFE getting the setup on the Armos Knight's going to be able to do the quick kill right here. Oh, just misses it.
Yeah, doesn't quite get it, and nothing on the boss. So doing that fight, bit of a waste of time, probably, unless we, of course, have something on that pedestal.
I mean, we can always pray for something necessary there.
Yeah, but the big prize from Eastern for GFE was that bow. So, again, like I said, there's...
I'm sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, there are 2 bows in the game, so that one might not be required. But if it is, that is huge for GFE.
It certainly provides some benefit for them, and as you point out, the fact that because there's a pendant there, they are even less likely to want to go into that dungeon than they were before. Fear also making the play into back of Skull Woods. Did we see much clearing of the front side of Skullwoods? I don't recall seeing anyone actually go in there.
No, I think we saw Pennyroyal Oil go straight to the back. He might have got both items though. I know there was one on Mothula.
Okay. The backside check in that one chest that lurks at the bottom may have had the other.
And Gamachu now heading into Escape, so he'll get his Fire Rod and his Ether Medallion. That Fire Rod's important because not just for Skull Woods, but also for Mire, since that's our only fire source right now. And there are a couple of chests in Mire that are fire locked. GFE heading up to Spike Cave as well.
So the... Oh, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
I was going to say the main things we're looking for right now are either the hookshot or the mirror to open up most of Death Mountain to us.
Yeah, it is surprising that we're 29 minutes in and we still haven't found that mirror. I also just wanted to point out for those that might not be too familiar with the Moth fight here, the fact that like Fear was hitting that Moth a lot with the hammer, way more than we saw from from Penny Royal. But the fact is that if that Moth hits the spikes after you hit them, then it does negative out the damage that you tried to do, because the Moth doesn't take any damage from the spikes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the most annoying bugs in the game. Penny Royal Oil heading into Eastern Palace, so he'll get his bow here. And we see GFE heading straight to Pod. Now, he hasn't got that fire rod, so he'll have no fire source at all, which is going to make some of these dark rooms a little tricky, especially the turtle room. Doing that room with only the fighter sword, that's a tough room, and it can even if you get through it, it's slow. So that's kind of one of the things that makes Pod not super attractive without a fire source. But it is a full clearable crystal, so no reason not to come here.
So if you're just tuning in, want to welcome you guys to the Link to the Past qualifier race for SpeedGaming Live 2020 coming up in November. This is EDM, do you know how many of these qualifiers we've done so far? Is this the first?
This is the second. The first was this morning.
Okay, well, there you go. Close to the first, then. We got, I think I heard 49 runners competing today in this particular race. Yep. You got to do a certain number of these to get a good score to be able to qualify for the race. So it's a lot of competitors. Only a certain number of them are going to make it in. We really got to see how they do today and hope that they do the best they can.
Looks like Fury Agent's heading for that purple chest. So that's a new check we haven't seen. But we are going to be watching GFE here. We're going to see what's in Pod.
This is the next big new place that we are in right now.
Yeah. And with that bow being in Eastern, that's a Sphere 1 location, which means it's a location you can get to right off the bat at the start of the game. It's not a great location to come to, so runners are going to put it off a lot. Oh, there's the lamp. Lamp in Pod, so Pod fully in logic.
So really, only thing we're missing at this point is Hookshot and Mirror.
That's right.
And while there might be the occasional like one-off item somewhere here or there that we could use one of the other key items for, it seems like most of our progression has already been discovered, and once you get those couple last items, you really don't need to get anything else.
Oh yeah, chat mentioned flippers are also required since Swamp Palace is crystal.
Thank you for that, chat.
So that is 3 items.
Yeah, buddy in chat asking if they've been by Meyer. They did check the Meyer hut. I think with Ether now, they could go inside if they wanted to. And since we have now the dungeon itself is now in logic, but whether or not they want to do that just yet is the question.
Yeah, it is full clearable for sure.
That was an interesting skip I haven't seen before. The Pod one looked like a bounce or something that allowed him to run over the bricks that were up.
Yeah, that's actually a fairly easy trick to do. You just have to kind of dash while holding a certain direction and placing a cane block. And I don't know how that was discovered, but it allows you to save a few seconds in Pod there.
It is amazing to me that how old this game is, we are still finding all kinds of tricks for it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, GFE heading into the dark maze here. So besides that lamp, we haven't seen too much in Pod. GFE taking some extra damage there because he is trying to set up a death warp. That's one of the most annoying things about Pod with no mirror. You have to death warp at least once, usually. Unless you get a really nice key layout that lets you kind of sweep through. But, okay, Fury Agent heading into Misery Mire now. No bow.
First check in here.
No bow, so Vitreous going to be a bit of a tougher fight. But he does have that Master Sword. And looks like Penny Oil also heading into pod with that bow, while Gamachu is heading into Mire. So, yeah, pretty interesting seed here. Everyone kind of gone in different directions. We have runners, missing different bits of progression. So a couple of runners got a bow from Eastern, and a couple of runners got a fire rod from Escape. And a couple of runners got an ice rod from Zora. So all the runners are going to have to get to all these items eventually.
Mm-hmm. All of them being required right there. It is interesting to see how far they went and now how much they are kind of converging back on each other's paths.
Actually, I should correct myself. The ice rod is not necessarily required unless we need to beat Trinex for some reason.
The potential of 2 items being locked there for one reason or other, as well as maybe having an item on Trinex, just because of that green pendant, and also the potential that, like, flippers at pedestal or something like that.
Yeah. Well, flippers can't be on pedestal because Ice Palace is a pendant.
Okay.
But we could still have Mirror or Hookshot on pedestal.
One of our key items, I think, is what I was trying for.
Yeah.
Fear Agent doing the lovely hover right there. I like that hover a lot. I can't perform it myself, but that's a great hover when you can do it right there to get over to that other bridge there at Mire.
Yeah, it looks like he's taking advantage of what we call God Mire. That's when you get the big key early on in one of the first 2 chests. And if you want, you can go straight to the boss. I'm guessing he'll probably... sorry?
I was just going to say, having a bit of problems getting the setup here to be able to chuck this brick onto the button.
Yeah, this is one of the more difficult dark rooms in the game if you don't know good setups for it.
And there is a setup for it, but it is, even at the best of times with those bricks firing fireballs at you, it is difficult to do. And
takes his death. And I don't believe he has a fairy. No, that is a really unfortunate death for Fear Agent.
Going back in.
But yeah, he's heading back in. Gamachu getting through those dark rooms with much fewer problems.
Relative ease by comparison, at the very least. Didn't seem to get the nice setup, though, for the trick to hit these things from the different room. My name again is failing me. Spooky action?
Spooky action glitch.
Thank you.
That, yeah, that trick's a lot more difficult to pull off when you don't have the lamp. You can't see what you're doing. I've seen people get it without the lamp before, but it is difficult. GFE making a good play for him right now, going to Escape. Gonna get that Fire Rod and Ether.
We're gonna see Gamma going in for doing Vitreous right now, going with the bomb strats. It's a solid strategy right here for the early going.
Yeah, given his equipment set, I definitely don't blame him for softening up those eyeballs with a few bombs. Fighter Sword and Hammer alone is a pretty difficult and long,
very long,
tedious fight.
And that doesn't even get into the part of the actual having to fight the big eyeball.
Yeah, Gamachu getting through it though.
Steadily.
But his health is decreasing here. So he is kind of using damage boost strats. Oh, he's got a blue potion. Okay, he's fine.
Yeah, he was able to save that safety for a little while, so that helped out a lot. And now we're going to see what weapon choice he's going to be using, going with hammer strats.
Yeah, hammer's really his only option right here. It takes quite a few hits, but once you get the rhythm down, it's fairly quick.
He got a lovely dribble on that eyeball right there. Just really kept it locked in the corner.
Yeah, that's what you want to do with the hammer on Vitreous. Just get him into that corner, get a bunch of hits off. And yeah, crystal number 3 for Gamachu.
Fear back in here again, trying to see if he can get the setup for this. I think, yeah, he got it that time.
Got it first try, of course. Isn't that always the way it happens? You get it first try every time. You try. Meanwhile, Penny Royal looks like they're going to be heading down to go take on the
armored turtle here at the bottom.
Yeah, GFE about to pick up that Ether medallion.
Mm-hmm.
And Gamachu heading back into Mire, so I guess he skipped some chests here. And there's still an item left over.
Downside of all this health we have, it takes forever to death warp out of this basement here at the castle.
Yeah. Yeah, early health is nice until you have a seed with a late mirror, and then it's just a pain.
It's just the seed taunting you at that point. Another solid battle going on here. Fear Agent coming in for Vitreous as well. Skipping bombs, going straight to sword strats.
Well, he's got the master sword. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that I mean doubles his damage against Vitreous. So
changes the map. Yeah, much faster fight, especially when you're getting the double hits there off of the sword from facing away from the eyes.
Yeah, Fear not taking any chances. He's going to down that red potion, and there's a hook shot in the Mire lobby chest. Big fun for Gamachu.
Another lovely dribble here from Fear Agent. I'm sorry, where'd you say the hook shot was?
In Mire, in the lobby chest.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that opens up most of the mountain to us.
Mm-hmm.
We got a ton of checks, and Gamachu is booking it there.
Yeah, Gamma immediately heading up that way with all those unlocked. With the amount that they have available, that's how many chests are on here on both sides of the mountain at this point. That is a fair number of exploration, with only needing a couple treasures left at this point. Gotta assume that something that they're looking for is gotta be up here.
And GFE, wow, heading into Ice Palace out of logic. This is, I'm not sure about this play. He hasn't even done Skull Woods yet.
Using fake flips to get in here?
Yeah, I'm not sure about this play. And he has Mire access as well. I don't know why he's doing this, unless he's mismarked it as a crystal. But up on Gamachu's side, we're getting Paradox Cave. There's another sword in there.
Of course, if Mirror does end up being in here, for example.
Yeah, this goes back to kind of what I said early on. Sometimes you get runners that just like to make these wild gambles and try to do really well in the qualifiers, and other runners you see are playing it more safe. But yeah, this is a pretty big play for GFE.
It is,
and I don't think he would do this. I don't think he would do this if he knew the hookshot was in Mire. And okay, Gamachu. I don't think there was anything interesting in Paradox Cave besides that sword. But he's heading into Hera now. Going to tackle his fourth crystal.
There we go. GFE struggled with it a little bit. Eventually got the Chain of Samaria skip here to get into this backside of this Ice Palace area.
Yeah, first item in there, a heart container.
Hera has a key. Looks like Hera wants us to go into the basement.
Yeah, but Gamachu's gonna say no thanks. I'm gonna do the old Hera pot here and skip that tile room.
This is another great skip.
It is, but it also comes with a risk. If there's an item in the big chest, you're not going to be able to get it without the big key. So we'll see if he gets both items.
So we did miss it. There's a fire sword if you have the other ones available to you already. Lurking here in that set of 5 here at Paradox Cave.
Okay, I missed it. He actually had the big key, not the small key. So he was able to get the big chest, which had a bow.
Well, I think he had
which
both.
Is great.
Because we saw him pick up the little key at the top side of that third floor. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in either case, he got a bow and a shield on the fourth. I think that's the 4th floor.
Silver's.
So that bow's great for Gamachu. He's not going to have to go into Eastern Palace. He's going to be able to go to Pod next. And that's really bad news for GFE because that means that the advantage he had of getting that bow from Eastern is kind of dissipated now.
One place it'll be a better advantage is if it ends up coming down that a bunch of our runners end up at Ganon around the same time, because if he'll likely pick up that other bow, and Silvers will speed up that fight just a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely is helpful, but it's not really worth a full Eastern Palace clear.
Especially with the number of bosses that we've already fought that the silver arrows would have come in helpful for. Now, he hasn't fought Vitreous yet, so that actually makes the Vitreous fight a little faster, but still.
Well, the problem is has to get the hook shot from Meyer first in order to get that bow, so he's not even going to be able to use the silvers on Biddy. But he will have a bow for Biddy.
Yeah. Get another setup for this pot skip here.
Yeah, and Gamachu just getting 10 arrows there out of Spiral Cave, so looks like our next stop is going to be Dark Death Mountain. So we got 6 overworld checks, and we can also potentially go into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that hookshot really opened up a lot here by having all this, having both the light and dark sides of the mountain available, put so many chests on the table. If you prioritize your chest checks over everything else, like going to the places where the odds are in your favor of finding one of the key items you're needing, which, for instance, was Hera, then a check like this with all of these chests available, this is a great route just to take.
Yeah. And Turtle Rock is Bombos, so that is not accessible right now. But we do have Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave here.
Honestly, having that be Bombos could be a blessing in disguise. If there's nothing on pedestal, there's no reason to go in there, really.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what we find here.
Mm-hmm.
Some money. Some more money. Oh, that was a green 20. So that must have been that's the item that replaces the boots logically, and there's the Bombos medallion in Hookshot Cave.
Yes, it is back in logic.
Okay, well, that's really rude, because without a mirror, that kind of forces you to save and quit and climb back up the mountain if you want to get into Turtle Rock.
The game just teasing our players. Ooh, half magic though.
Half magic's nice.
Yeah.
Certainly can be helpful in a few dungeons.
It's never essential, but you never mind having it.
Yeah. And let's see what Gamma does next from here. Looks like he's floating away, so he does have he's going to go to Pod first. There's no reason to go into Turtle Rock when you got crystals to clear. But after Pod, Pod was fairly empty besides that lamp. So after Pod, I can see him going into Turtle Rock, maybe.
We will still absolutely have to find that mirror at some point. That is required for Swamp, just to be able to do the dam area and actually get that place open. So we can't just leave that one key item on the table.
Yeah, so we're that's what we're down to is the mirror and the flippers for Swamp. And for Desert Palace, we need either the mirror or the book. So if we just find the mirror, then that works for both dungeons.
And it looks like GFE's out of ice. I didn't see if they got anything that really was of benefit in there.
I don't believe so. Nothing new lit up on the tracker. But it did seem like it was a fairly quick dip, so not a huge time loss there.
Didn't spend forever down there, no. Well, I guess because they didn't have... I don't think they had Fire Rod at the time. No, they had to have, because they couldn't get in otherwise. Never mind.
Penny Royal Oil skipped the Hera Big Chest. Does he not have the big key?
Should. I mean, unless he didn't go and check that bottom area, which everyone checks that. There's no reason not to. Maybe just... That's a weird skip.
That is a very weird skip. So, I mean, that's going to leave him without those silver arrows, which is you know, it's not going to hold him back or anything, but it is going to. It would have been worth it to get those.
In a qualifier setup like this, where you're trying to shave every second you can to get a better Z score over your opponents, the fact that he accidentally skipped the silvers is going to cost him a few seconds, which could cost him points on the back end.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not in go mode by any stretch. So it just seems really strange to skip an item there.
If you're doing your counts right, you should know you missed an item in Hera. You should know that it's in there.
So, I don't know. Let's hope. Well, again, it doesn't really matter. He doesn't have to get the bow since he's got the one from Eastern. But
it won't penalize him. The way it would is if he's looking at his counts, realizes he skipped a chest in there, and then says, "Oh man, Hera could have what I'm looking for." If he's still looking for flips or the mirror, goes back in there because that's just slowing them down at this point.
Yeah. And we see Gamachu doing that same, or trying to do that same clip that we saw earlier, and struggling a little bit with it.
Paying for it just a little.
Okay, gets it now.
So we did see the bottom half go into pod earlier. Now we got the top half going into pod.
Yep. GFE heading to the Zora area. Gonna get that Ice Rod. But I think we're looking at Turtle Rock mainly for our next progression. Trying to think if there's any overworld we haven't seen yet.
Good old double dip Dark Mountain right there.
Yeah, we can't do Pyramid Fairy because Desert Palace is one of the red crystals, and that's not accessible right now.
Question in chat about where Icewood was. As was pointed out, that we just saw one of our players grab it. It's lurking over there at Zora for 500 rupees. One of the few times it's nice to actually have, like, a Zora check in there.
Alright, where's GFE headed? Is he doing Purple Chest? I think he's doing Purple Chest.
I know we saw a Purple Chest grab earlier. Didn't see anything light up on the screen from it being essential, though. Don't think there's anything worthwhile.
Yeah, I think it was garbage, but this is a really strange play from GFE. He's putting off Meyer for some reason, and I don't quite understand why.
But yeah, looking at what we have right now, we can't get into Desert, we can't get into Swamp, we can't officially get into Ice Palace, although those that wanted to go in there could do it, but with how few items we have left, there's no reason to go there right now. And we've already seen them clear out Meyer, so Turtle Rock really does look like the only place left, unless it's some weirdo one-off location on the overworld we haven't checked yet, but there's not many of those left either.
I can't think of anything outside Turtle Rock.
No. I mean, I don't think we've seen anyone, as they point out, check Stumpy. We did check Dig Game. We did check. I think we checked Lumberjack.
Yeah, Lumberjack was checked early on. That was just rupees.
Dig Game was just a piece of heart, and I don't know that we've checked. No, someone went into Stumpy area, didn't they? But we don't have the shovel.
Yeah,
so we can't do the other half.
Stumpy and Dig Game has all been done.
Yeah. But you're more than likely going to find the other two items you need before you even have to, like, find the shovel and do that side of it, so...
Someone mentioning Mimic Cave. That's actually the only chest in Turtle Rock we can't get, because no mirror.
Unless, of course, Turtle Rock has mirror, which I think at this point we're pretty much expecting.
I've seen seeds do that before. They put the mirror down on Laser Bridge or on Trinex, and then there's an item in Mimic Cave, so you are logically expected to go all the way to the end of Turtle Rock and then like go back through Turtle Rock to get to Mimic Cave. That can happen, and that's pretty rude. I
wouldn't put it past the seed at this point. This has been a fairly rude seed. Ooh, Gamma getting the rare arrow kill there on the underground turtle. I like that kill a lot.
Yeah, 8 regular wooden arrows, or if you have silvers, it only takes 1 arrow to finish off that second phase of Helmosaur. You can also use, I mean, it has the Master Sword, so you can also use Master Sword slashes. Takes 8 of those. But sometimes arrows are just faster.
It's the vanilla strat. If you don't know any better and don't realize the sword can actually do damage to it, you're expected to use the arrow to shoot the gem.
Yeah, the advanced way to do it is with hammer hits. You can actually kind of extend your sword to increase the hammer hitbox a little, but that is one of the more difficult strategies. But if you can do it consistently, it is the fastest way. And it looks like we got Gamachu heading up to Turtle Rock.
Having done the math that we did.
Yeah. And Pennyroyal Oil finishing off with Meyer. And Giafi doing a little rail skip there in Meyer. That saves a few seconds having to run around the room if you get it on the first try.
Now, we're of course nowhere near ready to start expecting winners here at this point during the qualifier race. This is quite the long and drawn out little seed right here, and there's very little reason to think anyone had such a big brain play they could have just cleared it quickly at this point. But once we're through it, we start seeing runners on stream. We can also start discussing who else may have finished behind the seeds.
Yeah. Having to dip Pendant Turtle Rock usually means the seed's going to be a bit longer.
Considering how many dungeons we still have on the table we actually have to do, and where things are going, I would be surprised if we start seeing anyone starting to finish this up for at least another 20.
Yeah. There isn't actually walking out of pod. I assume this is to go do Pyramid Ledge or Catfish or both.
First item here in Turtle Rock was the key. Do the quick little hookshot skip to get out of there. Drop down, get past the roller room, and we'll see what the second item is.
Did Fury Agent not get the hookshot?
I'll be honest with you, I can't remember where hookshot was at this point.
It's not lit on his tracker. And I'm not sure if we're going to see a menu anytime soon because we got that quick swap thing going on. But yeah, Fear missed the hookshot, and Meyer, he's probably going to last locate that.
Oh right, he did the boss fight there, and then he moved on and didn't go back in to do any other chests there. He took the one item that he got off of Vitreous and called it a day.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Fear. The good news is the hookshot is locking quite a bit of the map right now, so he doesn't have that much to do before he has to come back to Meyer. But I could see him going into Eastern.
Someone in chat commenting that they think that he may have dipped back in. I think that was just that he died and had to go and try get down to Vitreous a second time. So far, it doesn't look like Turtle Rock is producing much that we're really looking for just yet.
Yeah, as usual with Turtle Rock, the items tend to be towards the end of the dungeon. We do get 50 rupees there in the lava chest. Okay, Fear's got the hookshot.
Cool. Okay, no perfect. You and I both didn't recall seeing that. Yeah, but you got to think that anyone that was actually willing to come into Pendant Turtle Rock as soon as they had access to it would have a clear advantage over everyone else. It's looking more and more likely that Laser Bridge is going to have to be where we go to find something. Yep, just a little bit of love right there.
Yeah, so the next chest has to be a small key, the Crystal Roller Room, so we're definitely looking to Laser Bridge or Trinex.
Mm-hmm. And until we find, like, the last couple of items, those of you hoping for a pendant, or a pendant, a pedestal required check. Although, can't be flippers as we commented earlier. I guess the Hoshula could have one of the items we're looking for.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Mirror could be on a pedestal.
Yeah, it could be. We'd have to find the flippers first to put Ice Palace in Logic.
To get it, yeah. So, those of you that want to see a pedestal, basically we need to see flippers here or at Sahasrahla, and then Mirror there at the pedestal is about the only way we're going to get that. Lovely laser dodges.
Small key, so one more chest here on Laser Bridge. And it's the mirror.
Yep.
Alright, so we're looking for flippers.
And they can't be at the pedestal.
No, pedestal is officially
dead.
Not a thing, yeah. Oh, we had the cape up in the roller room there of Turtle Rock. I didn't notice that. Gamchu is going to continue on to Trinex.
Flippers, a question in chat about whether or not flippers could be on pedestal. They can't because Ice Palace requires the flippers, and Ice Palace has the pendant in it. And while I sound authoritative while I say that, I thought the same thing at one point, so it's not just you.
Alright, so Gamachu having to do the slow version of Trinex with just the Master Sword. Typically, for the left head, you do hammer strats, and then on the right head, you just kind of spam fire rod shots, which you can do with half magic. Without half magic, you have to be a little more careful with your magic. But he gets Trinex down.
As a kid, I don't think I ever realized that you could actually use your sword for the boss here. I think you well, at least not for the heads. I always thought you had to just use straight magic, and seeing people use the sword against, I'm just like, wow, that speeds things up so much.
Yeah. Alright, so just a compass on Trinex, but we did get that green pendant. I don't think Gamachu's going to go back in for Mimic Cave. No, he's out of there. Mimic Cave is such a long track back through Turtle Rock to get to Mimic Cave, and you just got that mirror which opened up Desert and a bunch of other checks.
You go to the other dungeons. I want to comment also, I really love that Minish rabbit sprite. That is adorable.
So, Kenny Royal didn't finish Trinex. He noped out right after the mirror. That's a bold play.
I mean, with he probably did the math and sat there going, the likelihood of Trinex having what I need is there, and I already know pedestal is ruled out, so
yeah,
he's leaving Sahash on the table, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where if you're wrong, it basically costs you the race. But if you're right, it's a pretty nice time save, and you're very likely to be right. It's only one item you're leaving behind. Also, he hasn't got the ice rod, so that might have factored into his decision.
Oh, well, there is that. And, I mean, at this point, he doesn't even need to go to Zora to get the ice rod, because without Trinex on the table for him, he doesn't really need to worry about it.
Yeah, so unless the flippers are on Sahasrahla, he'll be fine.
Yeah, it might be concerning him in the back of his mind, but at the position he's in, he'll last location that before actually worrying about it.
Oh yeah, I mean he's more than happy with the mirror. That gives him lots of stuff to do.
Now, of course, the second someone figures out how to a fake flipper through all of Swamp.
So we are coming up to Landmolus on, well, the two left sides. So we got actually a pretty close race between Gamachu and Penny Royal. They've both done most of the same things. Hera's not lit up on his tracker, but I'm pretty sure Gamma did finish Hera.
I think we saw all of them go into Hera.
Yeah. Gamachu not quite getting the one cycle, but Penny Royal was a nice fight nonetheless.
Didn't see anything in Desert that he needed, which is basically the flippers at this point. Trying to think what's left on the table for him.
Well, we do have a checkerboard cave. We have a lot of mirror checks. So it could be Graveyard Ledge, could be Cave 45, or even we still have that green pendant left. Not checkerboard, that's mirror shield.
Yep, not going to get the riot shield right there.
And, oh yeah, Penny Royal hasn't been to Agina, so he'll get that Tempered Sword here. So that'll feel nice. Same with Gamachu.
And as Chad is noticing, and I just noticed as well, Mimic Cave was a dud.
Oh, who did Fear check that?
Fear just checked it, and then instead of going any further after climbing up for that, he just escaped out.
Oh, he didn't do Trinax. Okay.
No, he skipped it too.
Yeah, I guess when you can just mirror and go straight to Mimic Cave, that's a faster check than doing Trinax.
Oh,
so, that does make a lot of sense.
With Desert and Mire now cleared for Penny Royal, that puts Pyramid Fairy on the table, as chat was just commenting.
Yes, it does. So that's 2 item checks that could easily be our flippers. Gamachu turning in that green pendant, just a heart piece there. So Salhash will end up paying off.
I like that little trick there to be able to do the dash with the bomb by taking a bit of damage so you can do the dash while you're in iframes.
And where's Gamachu going? He might be doing some of the mirror checks, like K45 and stuff. But
So
okay,
we're gonna see now if the Great Fairy here has anything worthwhile.
Oh, and this is a really nice play for Penny Royal, since he hasn't checked.
Oh,
there it is.
okay.
And a bottle for good measure. So that's go mode for Penny Royal Oil, and yeah, he's got a pretty solid lead. Just has to go quickly go mode Swamp and then head up to GT.
Yeah, that's all he needed right there. He looked at it, he's like, okay, I'm out, I'm done, I'm cruising. And now he's just gonna hope that the big key shows up early so he can. Not actually, wait, no, don't even need big key. He's gonna hope that nothing. He can just go mode this as fast as possible.
Yeah, Gamachu picking up the Quake Medallion, even though it's not needed for anything. Now, it looks like Gamma, okay, he's heading to 4, so this could be the Pyramid Fairy play for Gamma. But yeah, it's pretty solid lead for Penny Royal right now among all our runners. Assuming Gamma goes straight to Pyramid Fairy here, he'll be a couple of minutes behind. Oh, he's going not to Pyramid Fairy. He's going to do K45 first. So that's going to cost him a little bit of time.
Since we know where Go is. That's that thing though. You do your checks, and Pyramid Fairy is just slightly out of the way and takes just long enough that if you can find the item you're looking for, a quicker check, you don't want to go elsewhere. That is the bug catching net, but we don't even need to fight Aghanim 1 at this point. Oh, wait, go back.
Yeah, that's
It's that thing I've noticed. The second the commentator says, "Of course they're not going to go get it. Why would they need that?" Runner doubles back, like, "No, I need this. Of course I need this."
yeah. Yeah, Gamachu is a runner who's known to love his safeties. Even though he's got 15 hearts and blue mail, he still wants the bug net.
Mm.
Alright, now he's doing Pyramid Fairy, so that'll be go mode. But Penny Royal with I'd say about a 3-minute lead right now over Gamachu. Fear Agent kind of going on the same path, checking K45 first. But I assume we'll go to Pyramid Fairy after this.
Yeah, this feels like the convergence point at this juncture.
And GFE, unfortunately, a little bit farther behind, just going to get his mirror now.
As Chat wisely points out, Gamma does not appear to have finished Tower Hera. At least it's not checked off for them.
He's definitely done Hera.
Okay.
I think we're having a bit of tracker issues. That happens from time to time.
Not always
software just eats inputs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Gamma's done Tower Hera. Fear Agent has done Hera and Desert. He only has Swamp left.
It's that thing when you're keeping an eye on 4 people at once. Details sometimes split away.
And GFE, I'm pretty sure, has done Misery Mire because he's got the hook shot.
Yeah. Well, because he's in Turtle Rock at this point. There would be no reason to come over here if you didn't already know that this was basically last location.
All right, so well, we got a bit of a break in the action. Do want to remind everyone, send a follow to our wonderful runners, Gamachu, the Fear Agent, Penny Royal Oil, GFE 12. They're all great runners, all very entertaining to watch. And, of course, show some love to our trackers, Duo and Adalor. Doing a great job fighting with that tracker software. You know, just because something's not marked doesn't mean that they didn't mark it. It just means that sometimes the software just eats that input.
And while we're talking about follows and other things, if you have any interest in participating in this tournament, there is still a time to qualify in for it right now. We are only on the second of, I believe, 10 qualifier races. Only need to finish, if I'm not mistaken, 5 of them. So if you're wanting to, just haven't managed to get in for it yet, still plenty of time to come in and qualify on these the Link to the Past races. That you are competing for a nice bonus prize pool right there as well. $1,000 bonus on top of the prize pool where it's at right now, which will continue to grow throughout the tournament and the actual SG Live event as well. So, I mean, it's a great time to join.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more than 10 qualifiers. I think there's like 20 or so.
Is there? Okay. I knew 10 was at least the minimum. I wasn't sure exactly how many.
Yeah, so there are, and they're all at different times. So there's lots of different chances to play in these.
I think Minded Me was telling us earlier that the next one is tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m., so at a prime afternoon time for those of you that might be in Europe.
Oh, by the way, Penny Royal Oil is heading to GT. We got some, we already got some eager chat members putting in those guesses, but if you like, throw in a number into chat from 1 to 22, and that is going to correspond to what chest do you think the Gans Tower Big Key will be in.
Thank you, because I was looking to put up numbers. I'm like, are they just telling me how many qualifiers we're going to have? But no, that was...
It's like everyone has a different guess.
Ooh, chest 571. I don't know, that might be just a little off there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I don't think that guess is going to happen.
If it was entrance, maybe. Actually, I don't think there's that many chests in the game.
Not even close.
No.
216 is the total number. So chest 1, we get the book. That's not very useful. But no small keys, so Pennyroyal is forced to head over to the left side. And the torch number 3, just a heart piece there. And on to the Stalfos room here. Just number 4, small key. Number 5, we got red rupee. And number 6 is the big key. 6. Did anyone guess 6? We do have one person. Redorculus.
I was just going to
what a name.
Well,
guess number 6. But yeah, so just the GT climb left for Pennyroyal, so all execution from here is going to have to do Silverless Ganon because of that skipping the Hera big chest for some reason, but does have that bow that was in Eastern Palace.
And as we can see, like, not having the silver arrows, a lot of these little enemies take an extra hit or two. It's a slow time bleed, but not anything that would, like, super affect their time overall.
Yeah, I mean, these are all top-notch runners. They're not going to have any problem with the silver without the silvers.
We're just really talking about fractions of a second here that add up to affect your Z-score.
Yeah, I mean, on the Ganon fight, if you can do like a perfect silverless Ganon fight, silvers don't really save you that much time. It's maybe 30 to 45 seconds. So not a huge deal, especially with that tempered sword. And all our runners do have tempered.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a matter of how much you're vying for that lead, how close behind the first place person you are, especially when we're talking about like a Z-score setup of sorts.
Alright, Gamachu's second runner now into Ganon's Tower. And Fear Agent is not far behind. But Pennyroyal with a pretty sizable lead now. He's all the way up to Landmo 2.
Gonna try for the Fire Rod kill. As with the first time around, missed the 2 hits on the first one, but does manage to do a nice little cleanup there at the end and get through it with minimal time loss. That Wizrobe kill is just a thing of beauty every time.
Yeah, those are fun rooms.
I love watching these. They're so good.
Alright, GFP checking K45 here and presumably gonna go do Pyramid. No, he is gonna go do Pyramid Fairy. So that'll put all our runners in go mode.
See our third runner, Fear Agent, coming into the Ganon's Tower. That convergence is happening now. We're going to start seeing a lot of people here and over in the race room as well, starting to finish up.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the other finishers just yet.
Nope. Not at all.
And keep in mind, everything's on a 20-minute delay here, so we are kind of seeing the finishers, but we're not going to spoil anything.
No.
And Pennyroyal taking care of Moldorm 2. Going to open that last chest, hoping for silvers, but just a map there.
Bonus key to Fear Gab there as well. Don't think that actually will save any time, though. I don't think there's a lot of key doors that extra key is going to benefit.
Yeah, he's got 3 keys, which is more than enough. You only need 1 key to do the Ganon's Tower climb. because there are 2 doors upstairs, but you can get another key from the mini helmet source. So 1 is
And
that
since
magic number.
Since we didn't fight Aghanim 1, we don't get to play the how many orbs do we get from Aghanim game.
Nope. But that is Agatha 2 completed for
Nice
Penny
by the
Royal.
number skill. Yep.
And yeah, he's on to Ganon. So we got half magic. We got lots of health, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Here should be a pretty standard silverless Ganon fight. And
you're gonna
he
say
may even have a potion or 2 left over just in case things go wrong.
shouldn't prove to be that difficult to fight, but as with anything, Ganon does love to just take that moment and knock you in the pit when you least expect it.
Yeah, so Pennyroyal going to take 12 slashes on each of the first 2 phases. Gets a nice 1 cycle there. I didn't look like he got it, but he did. And doesn't get a 1 cycle on phase 2, but not a huge deal.
Bats are jerks. Like birds, bats are jerks. On to the teleport phase.
Yeah, very nice phases 1 and 2. Took some bumps here, but if you're well practiced in phase 4, you should be able to do it without taking any damage. No problem.
It's a slower fight, but that part isn't necessarily as bad anymore.
Yeah, and of course, making sure to get that torch glitch. It just makes your fight so much easier and quicker to have that torch glitch, so you always want to take care to get that on silverless. So missed a couple of spins, but looks like he's getting in the rhythm now. Once you get into the rhythm, the fight becomes pretty straightforward. And yeah, he's got a triple there, so it looks like he's not having any issue. Oh, gets an accidental stun there on Ganon. That's not what you want without silvers.
It is hard to tell which ones he's actually hitting with, though, without being able to hear it.
Yeah, when you do land a hit, Ganon flashes briefly, but it's kind of hard to tell over the restream because we don't get all of the frames.
Yep.
But there it is. Ganon is down for Pennyroyal Oil. Okay, GG's in chat, as he will be our first runner to cross the bridge into the Triforce room on the restream, at least. And there it is. Pennyroyal Oil finishing with an official race time.gg time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 51 seconds. And that is good for 5th place overall out of 49 runners. That's a very solid result. And so we'll see if he'll join us for an interview. As Gamma now is facing off against Ganon. Going to use the cape there to make sure to get that 1-on-1.
That does put Pennyroyal, I think it was exactly 4 minutes behind the first place finisher, so a good time overall. There's just that if you did the Turtle Rock play earlier, you can see from the times, that was really the difference maker.
All right, so we do have Pennyroyal in the waiting room. We're going to just watch these Ganon fights from Gamachu and Fear first. I'd like to commentate on the runners' fights here. Gamachu mistiming a hit there.
Getting a good hit there, though. A little easier to see the flashes on his screen.
Yeah, sometimes it just kind of depends on how the runners are streaming. Just, technical details.
Yep.
And, Gamachu's got a pretty good rhythm going now as Fear is dropping into the Ganon fight. Gamachu spraying his fire rod, that's actually pretty risky to do. I've seen soft blocks happen from runners spamming items while waiting for the Triforce to happen. But Gamachu crosses the finish line, and his official time is 1 hour 24 minutes and 47 seconds, and that's good for 10th place overall, and second on our restream.
Very tight grouping once they started finishing. Fear Agent looks to be going with the cape strats to avoid the damage from Bats there.
Yeah, and as Oro points out in chat, Fear really wanted to beat Gamma. He put it in his file name and would have beaten Gamma if he hadn't died to Vitreous.
Yeah.
Or, he died in the dark room of Maya, rather.
Yeah.
And that looks like that was enough to be the difference. So,
a little bit of a tease there from the game.
Yeah. But Fear Agent on to phase 4 now.
Three hits so far from the look of it. 5. Oh.
Ooh. Gets that stun in, that wastes a couple of cycles there.
And a miss there.
Yeah, it wastes 2 cycles because he stays still for a bit longer, and that you can't get that cycle, and then the last cycle you don't have enough time before the torch goes out. So it's kind of extra punishing to do that stun. All right, there's Ganon down for Fear Agent.
Very nice. GG's. And finally, we have GFE starting to make their climb up the tower now.
Yep. But we are joined now by all 3 of our finish runners, Gamachu, Fear Agent, and Pennyroyal Oil. GG's to all of you.
GG's.
Poor GFE.
GG's.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty kind of all over the place seed. We had runners just kind of going in all different directions, all getting kind of different pieces of progression, except for that hook shot that was kind of in Meyer, that kind of bottlenecked everyone.
And then Turtle Rock.
And then Turtle Rock, of course.
Yeah, that lovely medallion placement.
Yeah. But I don't know, great race overall. How did you guys feel about that seed?
Felt okay. Like everything was so spread out. It was pretty strange trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
The only thing I feel bad about was dying into Meyer with potion. That felt really bad.
We were just talking about that. We noticed your file name beat Gamma or whatever it was. And,
that's your file name?
Yeah, we just thought. No, we thought if you hadn't died in Meyer, you probably would have beat Gamma. But
yeah, that's the way it goes. I beat GFE, so that's all that's important.
No. What's important is I beat you. That's what really counts.
Yeah, GFE went on kind of an adventure. He dipped Eastern. We actually saw the first bow we saw was in Eastern Palace, in the chest before the big chest. So we were kind of wondering where that second bow would show up. Luckily for you guys, it was just in the Hera big chest, which you skipped, Pennyroyal. I wanted to ask you about that. Why'd you skip the Hera big chest?
We were talking about that in the waiting room. For some reason, I thought I got an item in the basement of Hera, so I'm like, okay, we got 2 items after that first chest, and just, okay, everything else is meh. Dungeon items, let's go.
Yeah. Well, it's lucky for you that you did dip Eastern earlier, because that could have been a bit of a disaster. But
did you guys just see Gamma vent?
Get out of here.
Gamma sounds super sus right now. I think I saw P-Flan. P-Flan's mentioned
Let's not go there. Get out of here. Get out of here. So was I the only one to kill Vidi with Spider Sword? Because I did not get that sword from Agina's cave until after I finished off Desert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else did
Yeah,
that.
I had Master Sword by the time I did Vidi.
Your
Yeah,
bomb
I had
strats were
Master
lovely.
too.
Oh, you did that too, Penny Royal?
I got the Agina one after Desert, which was after Mir, but I had the 2 other ones before then.
So you didn't kill Vidi right away?
And no, I didn't. I didn't do the old man before I went into Meyer, so that was my most disappointing moment of the seed. Was leaving Meyer, going to Death Mountain, and immediately getting
Wow.
So you
killed.
skipped the bow and you doubled Meyer, and you beat us both. Wow.
I actually did not even notice that you did that. It's too much going on at once, I guess.
Yeah, that's usually the first thing I always do when I get flute. As soon as I finish CAC, I want to save the old man, and that was pretty rewarding to get that cane, even though it didn't do any good until much later on.
Yeah. So, Fear, you made an interesting call. Actually, I really liked the call that you made. When you got that mirror, you just mirrored out and said no to Trinex and just went to Mimic Cave.
I mean, if you saw me, it took me a minute to make that decision because I made it all the way to the bridge and I stood there and I'm like, do I want to do Trinex or do I want to do Mimic Cave? Because you can't do both, really. I mean, you could do Mimic Cave and then go all the way back to Trinex, but that seems like such a long way to go. And so I was debating in my head which one to do. I chose Mimic Cave, and then once I chose Mimic Cave, I was like, there's so much open to me now. There's like Desert, which opens Pyramid Fair and K45 and a bunch of stuff. So it's like, I gotta do it. I tried to skip a lot of stuff. Like honestly, like I did Thieves Town before I even did Ice Rod Cave, because in these big races that people don't really run anymore, you have to make like logical skips.
No, let's be real, Fear. You were just
don't interrupt me. Hey, I was trying to explain what was going on. Don't interrupt me, Gamma.
Just want to note that GFE is finishing just now, and they did have silvers to do the final kill.
I'm just kidding.
Yep.
GG's GFE.
We got your GG's in chat for GFE. So I didn't announce Fear's time, but he did finish with 126.50. Good for 11th place, right behind Gamachu.
That's so salty. The fact that it's right behind Gamachu.
Yeah. And GFE comes in with a time of 132.20. Good for 20th place. So all our runners finishing in the top half of the race. So pretty solid all around. And GFE is in the waiting room. He should be joining us. There he is.
I want to hear about how he was going to farm us all. So,
hey,
he's
GFE,
here.
GG's.
He spent too much time in the vent.
We can't hear you if you're trying to talk.
Come on, you got that free bow?
Yeah.
Oh,
so GFE,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You went on a bit of an adventure. You did Eastern Palace, and you dipped Ice Palace even.
Yeah, I can see that nobody else did Eastern because the other bow was free.
Yeah, well, actually, Penny Royal, interestingly enough, miscounted items in Hera and didn't get that bow. But luckily had dipped Eastern earlier, so it wasn't a big deal, just didn't get the silvers.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
But
and still beat us all. That's pretty rough.
Yeah. GFE, I really wanted to ask you about the Ice Palace play, though. You went in there without flippers. What was your thinking on that?
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be straight with you. I fluted. I had my fire rod, my mitts, everything else. Mitts hadn't really paid out yet. And forgot I didn't have flippers. So when I jumped in the water and realized it, I was like, we're just going to go for it. We're going to hopefully find mirror in here. Everything's going to be okay. Yeah, that didn't happen.
It did seem like it was a pretty quick 3 items, though.
Worst part was just the fact that my first play with the mitts, Kingston first. was to go to Meyer Shed. And after that, I mentally checked off Meyer as done. And since I don't use the map tracker, when I got Ether, I did not even think about Meyer being open. So you got to see me think I was last locating purple chest, and then just sit there for about a minute and think, what on earth?
Yeah,
Bad.
I was wondering why you didn't go to Meyer. I actually missed you getting stuck there. I thought you were just last locationing it for some reason.
Yeah, well, I was. The reason was that I forgot it. So that feels bad.
I mean, we
And
still finished in the upper half.
even after like Ice Palace, I mean, considering how it went, yeah, it doesn't feel too bad. Honestly, after my Ice Palace dip, since I didn't have to go too deep in it before getting all 3 items, I didn't feel too bad because I was like, well, at least everybody's got to go to Eastern for that bow. And then I opened Hera Big Chest, and I just wanted to get rid of progressive bows, please.
Yeah.
And Hera. Oh, but no, GG's. Hitsu being Hitsu, pushing this seed. GG's
Yeah, I can't wait to
him.
watch. I can't wait to watch that with the with some council
I mean,
members.
All you got to do is work. All you got to do, Fear, is work that PRNG from the first qualifier, because required pendant TR and your go mode in the left chest of Pyramid Berry. I mean, that's just how it works.
I just want to make sure that 100% that was a joke.
Gamma, I want to know from Gamma, why did you want that bug net so bad? You went out of your way to go back in and get the bug net.
He did
I
it for
needed
me.
it. Yeah, otherwise I just wouldn't be able to face up Ganon.
Yeah.
I didn't
And you
do
grabbed
it,
the
Gamma.
Quake medallion too, for good measure, even though
Yeah,
you
I
already
wanted to.
finished
Yeah,
both Meyer and Turbo.
I wanted to complete my coin collection.
Understandable.
I almost went back for the shield too. I think that was a mirror shield sitting in a checkerboard.
Yeah.
You should have. I can't believe you didn't.
Yeah, almost. I'm ashamed I didn't pick it up.
Yeah. Actually, Penny Royal, you were the only one not to get the ice rod off of Zora, which ended up saving you time since Trinax wasn't necessary.
You skipped it on purpose?
Yeah, early I had Dark World access, no reason to go there, and then eventually I was in Flippers and Mirror for Go mode, and it's like, well, there's a 50% shot that most of the checks in that area are past Go mode, so let's just leave it behind.
I want to know what makes someone do Eastern in this seed.
I can tell you what it was for me. I had, let's see, I'd done my Dark World loop up to Catfish with the Smith, went back, fluted back, turned Smith in, and after that, as far as density goes, I had Saha and Eastern, or I had Front of Escape, and I just chose Saha and Eastern. Figured
They
the
do.
pendant was a small galaxy brain, maybe.
You do Saha first. Those
I did
boots.
Saha first. What was
No,
there?
I mean like the first. That's the first thing I did.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
a couple you did the
Yeah,
straight.
I don't. I've done that play before, but wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, I was in a similar boat where just between Saha and Eastern, it was like, okay, this is my highest density by far, so let's just go over here.
I think Saha had a 300, which is nice for the early game.
Nice for getting that ice rod.
Also,
Yeah.
shoutouts to me spending like 15 to 20 minutes with the 0 bombs and having it throw me off every time I thought of them.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I ran out and just kind of kept not finding any. I'm like, okay, I have to buy these eventually. I do need bombs at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, I was honestly hoping the answer was just going to be Ped, since I'd already done most of ice. Might as well
Yeah.
make everyone else do it.
Yeah, until we found that mirror in Laser Bridge, Pad was looking like a possibility. But yeah. Anyway, I think we can start to wrap up soon. Dark Moon, did you have any more questions for the runners?
I think that just about covers right there. You guys did a great run right there. I was really impressed with everything that you guys were doing. Fantastic talked fish, and just yeah, it was just the way that this seed laid out and how those items were just distributed. It seemed like it was going to be jetty right up until the point where, like, 25 minutes in, you realized it really wasn't going to be.
You were even impressed by GFE?
Oh,
Shots fired.
Don't worry,
everyone
Fear.
on
Next time we play Among Us, I'll take care of you first.
yeah,
So y'all can
everyone
vote
on
me
the
off
race
if Fear
team.
dies next.
All right, so before we go, I like to read off the top 10 finishers. We had Hitzian in first with a 118, Divis Signs in second with a 120, Obscure Lifeform in third with a 122, Hayfield Bay and Penny Royal Oil also just behind in fourth and fifth with 122, Zelga Disson with a 123. We had a whole bunch of runners kind of piled up there. Relkin in seventh with 124, Brewers Fan JP in eighth with a 124, Blaine in ninth with a 124, and Gamachu in 10th with a 124. So a lot of runners bunched up there in the top 10. Very close race all around. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us. GG's to all the runners. Thank you for being on stream and joining us for the interview. And of course, big shout out to our trackers, Duo and Adalor. And of course, big shout out to my co-commentator, Dark Moon. It was a pleasure.
it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks for having me.
And if you are interested in learning more about this SG Live event, there's links in the chat right there. I think you can find the schedule, but our next qualifier is going to be tomorrow. Let me just find the time here. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern. So that'll be one for the Europeans. And then we also got one at 6 p.m. Eastern for the North Americans. So a couple more qualifiers tomorrow. Pretty packed day. But that's going to do it for us. Thank you, Minded Me. Just typing in that SG Live command if you want more info about the SG Live Marathon. But yeah, very exciting race. And I think that's going to do it for us. Do you have any final words, Dark Moon?
Just want to thank you guys for having me. I want to thank everyone for watching. Make sure to follow your runners. Make sure to follow the trackers and the rest of the team right here. It's been a great presentation here from the Link to the Past Randomizer community here for SpeedGaming Live 2020. And if you are interested in the tournament, we do still invite you to come and check it out. Plenty more qualifiers to go. Still a solid chance for you to jump in if you want to.
All right. And we're going to sign off. GG's and have a great day, everyone.
GG's.